Hey everyone. Sorry for the delay today. If you're watching this on the replay, I guess it won't matter, but welcome to Colourisma. It's been a hectic day, but we're here and we're doing a draw with me. I decided that I'm going to change up the format of the draw with me's. I am going to make them a little bit more laid back, a little bit more community based, and having more input and questions. Otherwise, I'm just gonna kind of chill and talk about the past week and try to relate it back into art. Yeah, so let's get to it. So for today, I settled on working on the next prompt I'm doing for the Arttober challenge I'm doing. Everybody's got a challenge now. I think sort of what I've noticed this year is that everybody wants to get really specific about what they want to do for art in October. And I think that's great. And the specific thing I'm working on is Animorphs. And of course it is, right? And so I decided to do a prompt list of all the Animorphs aliens and separated them into two separate kind of prompt lists. One of the main kind of like characters you may or may not remember, like mostly probably remember from the series, and then the other ones you probably don't remember, almost no matter how big of a fan you are. So I'm working on the prompt list with all of the aliens that I do remember, and today is the Iscourt. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. I've had these words in my head since 1996-ish, and I only ever said them in my head, half of them. So I don't know if they're legit, if I'm saying it correctly or not. But that is today's prompt, is the Iscourt. And let me pull up the description here. I've got two monitors here, and so I will be probably shifting my focus a little bit. But I did get I did think ahead enough to get the description yesterday. So yes, let's see. They're not even slightly human. Heads like vultures, thrust forward on long necks. The necks protrude from shoulders that were sort of oval and flat across. From the shoulders drop two arms, one on each side, each arm joined 3 times, ending in a hand made up of one very long tentacle-like finger and 2 smaller hooked, sharp, clawed fingers. It's definitely not human. Yeah, everyone. They walked in a way that made it seem like they were crawling on their knees, backward. Not that they went backward, they went forward. They had 2 thick legs, maybe 2.5 feet long. Then came what looked like knees, followed by calves that extended forward, lying flat against the ground. This is all going to be very interesting. It's kind of good I'm doing this because it's neat I imagine it might be neat to hear a prompt and then a blank canvas and how do like you interpret it if you want to draw along with me, or how am I going to interpret it? We'll find out because I don't know. Those ended in feet, each with a single long prehensile toe and 2 smaller claws jutting from the sides of thick pads. Their midsection was bare of clothing and looked weirdly like an accordion made of veined pink flesh. It moved, wheezing out a sort of running commentary on their thought speak. It was the sound of a whine, a grating, annoying whine that rose or fell depending evidently on how excited or mad or agitated they were. Iscourt faces were, like I said, not attractive. They were roughly triangular with the point toward the top, which left no room for a pair of eyes to fit. So their eyes, pink as a rabbit's, were stuck on short stalks. They had mouths. They didn't use them to communicate. They pretty much stayed shut, opening only every few minutes to suck in air and reveal a fat blue tongue and tiny blue-tinged teeth. All right, so that's our prompt. I'm going to move this window so I can kind of keep an eye on it and also keep an eye on the chat here a little bit anyway. But yeah, so that is our prompt for today. Little interesting, a little different. Let's see. Oh, okay. And then that It's kind of been like this all day, everyone. Like, I'm trying here. I had a spider emergency before the stream. That was interesting. I'm not like, and of course, I don't want to be challenged on this. I'm not like phobic of spiders, but I just don't really want them in my house where I don't know where they are. They can be on my house, outside of my house. They can be on the ground. They can be over there, but I just don't want them inside my house. And one was right there, like, I don't know, like right there, and on the window, and he was like neat, like pretty big for a little jumper spider. I mean, kind of cute, but not like itty bitty adorable cute where I'd let him crawl on my hand. Like, and he was like very like sturdy. I mean, I get it. He was scared. And this giant thing, me, was trying to like capture him under a bug catcher and everything. So yeah, I get it. Oh no, I hate see, so the first trick I got to being more okay with spiders was calling them spooters. And it's hard to be scared of spooters because it sounds ridiculous to be scared of spooters. So that helped. Now, the slow-moving ones, let me rephrase. The slow-moving small ones, I don't have a problem with at all. And if I see them on my rig or anything outside, I'm like, you get to stay. You get to do your bug catching thing, and you can be out here, and it's fine. The next ones I'm okay with are like smaller, cuter jumping spiders that are like, maybe they're fast, but they're also like kind of not really, I don't know. They're just, it's okay that they're fast because they're so tiny, and they usually can only be so fast because they are so small. Then is like the category that I got today, which is like they're big and they're fast. And this guy, he had his pedipalps, and he had his like two front like legs that looked like twice the thickness of the other 6 legs, and he just kept going like at me all the time. I'm like, dude, calm down. Like, I'm trying to save your life here. Hopefully there's no more food for you in here. That's the other thing. I finally sealed up a opening that I think that would explain why I found all this random array of bug life in my RV over the years. And if this actually is the reason, then it will make a lot of sense that this was the reason. I still don't know how exactly they're getting inside from this opening. It's the vent opening over the kitchen. But it would make sense that a wasp could get in, a katydid could get in, a bee could get in the other night, and then now the Mr. Jumping Spider. Like, it makes sense that all of that could have happened, but and all of the gnats, the assorted gnats I've been dealing with all summer, and it didn't make sense. Sorry for this rant, everyone, but it didn't make sense because they were all different species. It wasn't like if they were living in the drains or something, they would all be like the same species, but it was always random, different kinds. Some were fruit flies, some were gnats, some were, it was just like an assorted mix of different kind of little bugs. And just my inner naturalist was like, this doesn't make sense. And there was only like maybe 10 a day. That's not enough to be like, if they were hatching and there's like 500 eggs or something, like there would be way more. And there wasn't. It was always just like between 5 and 10 a day, but it was like every day. And it makes sense if there's an opening and they can smell food or anything, or just flying around, they get into the opening. It makes sense that maybe, you know, between half a dozen to a dozen would get in at any point. So rant over. It's court time. I just had to share because I got excited about having a less buggy zone. And then today, Mr. Spider is just like, hey, hello, hi, I'm here. And I'm just like, what? Okay. Yes, I understand the irrational fear. I also have that fear for any stinging insects. So that made the bee adventure from the other day very interesting. My reactions may seem slow until there's something like that around, and then I will move very quickly. I guess that's what I'm conserving all my energy for. All right. So let's go ahead and get going. Hopefully this new format, I'm deciding for the whole draw with me thing. It's 20 minutes in and I haven't drawn anything. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's been 10 minutes because I was 10 minutes late. So anyway, hopefully it's okay. It's more casual. I don't have a guest this week. In fact, I need to do a little bit more work to go get some more guests. But I was finding it more and more stressful to do these. And I was like, no, this needs to be fun. Like, this is a fun thing I'm doing. I want to encourage other people to draw with me. Let's just have fun and chit chat together and just have like 1 hour a day, if nothing else, to just draw and just like chill out and talk and stuff. So that's kind of the new kind of thing. I was like preparing an hour's worth of notes and outlines, and it was just getting to be too much. I was just, so let's see. Go ahead and get the right color here. I am using Clip Studio Paint. If my southern accent can just chill for a moment there. And I am using a set of brushes that I had gotten a while back. And I actually can't remember the name of them. They aren't Kyle brushes because this is Clip Studio and not Photoshop. Kyle brushes are for Photoshop. But they were a specialty set of brushes that were like $15, and I bought them over 5 years ago. And sometimes there's still updates to them and new brushes get added, and I still have those updates. I'm trying to draw this triangle vulture-like head. I don't know if they actually have like a beak. I don't know. Then is it going to look like a, oh, what's the thing from Dark Crystal? Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Anytime there's a weird vulture creature, kind of think of those guys. Let's see, kind of want to play around with the forms here. This first pass is just exploratory. It's just trying to figure out, not trying to do like a cool pose or anything, not trying to make it dynamic, just like, hey, what even is anatomy? And then the flat shoulders. Don't know if they're flat like this way, or if it like goes onto a surface and they're flat like this way. Like, I don't like that. That looks not appealing. So even when I'm drawing any kind of life form anyway, I still try to go for some kind of biologically appealing decisions, instead of just like straight up unnerving or unsettling. Just Skexy, yes, thank you. Skexis, I guess, maybe something like that. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of before. But yeah, I try to, even with these fantastical creatures that are probably trying to break, the descriptions are trying to break biology. I still try to get my inner biologist nerd out and still try to create something that makes, I don't know, some kind of sense anyway. I don't know, I might have to make this like more thin and dangly. That's cute terminology for a neck. And then this body is going to be really something else. It always confuses me when they want way more joints than is normal for this. It's like the reason why like every vertebrae on the surface of the earth has the joints that we do, usually at the shoulder going down to an elbow, and then a wrist joint, wrist joint, there we go, is because that's like the most mechanically sound way to assemble a body. That's why it's the same between whether you're looking at a horse or an eagle or a crocodile. Fish, I think, kind of break that. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think they have that many joints in their pectoral fins, but most other vertebrates kind of go in that way. So it's always interesting to add an extra joint just kind of for funsies. I haven't seen it done in such a way. There's another bug. It's just a little one though, so I'll ignore it for now. I haven't seen a lot of the multi jointed things that that I like a lot. All right, bugs. One day this won't be a problem. Hopefully soon. I knew I closed up the opening on Sunday night, so I knew that it would take a number of days before everything would be evacuated from the premises. I might get one of those sound things, you know, like the things that the little buggies are supposed to like and keep them away. I don't know if those actually work, but I would like it. I would like it to work. Weird hand tentacle thing. I've seen a lot of similarities in the creature designs descriptions over the past. This is day 6 for me. And I've seen a lot of similarities in the creature designs, and big feet are one thing that I've seen a lot of. It's just like everything has enormous feet and weird tentacles, just trying to go for the weirdest thing that they can, I guess. Try to make like a little octopus tentacle here. All right. You can fly around in here, but not in my face. Sorry if everything seems a little like erratic and just like tense. It's how I feel right now. I'm trying to calm down and relax, but I literally just got rid of that spider like, I guess an hour ago now, but my brain hasn't calmed down from that experience yet. All right, if that is gonna be that shape, I need to beef up these arms a little bit, because you can't have a giant hand on like a tiny weak arm. It's not really feasible. There we go. I still don't love that, but we're gonna get through this, everyone. We're gonna draw these Iscourt, and they're gonna be something. They're gonna be something. We're gonna do a rectangular kind of joint assembly, kind of like if my fingers were not really a part of the hand, and kind of like going that route. So just basically like fusing this here from the knuckles to the wrist, and kind of fusing that as another segment of bone and muscle, and then this will be, the digits will start here instead of, well, I guess they do start there, but I don't know. The hand will start here, and then the digits will go further. So this is where my brain goes when I'm designing these creatures. I use a lot of comparative anatomy, which just means that I compare it to myself, so then I can kind of figure out how it moves and all that kind of good stuff. All right. The stress is real. It really is, though. If I could just have one calm, boring day, I would be happy with that. I would love a boring day. And I think all of us in 2020 would really enjoy some boredom. Remember being bored in March? No? Okay, me neither. I know some people said that they were, and I couldn't relate, but I was mostly just panicked and in a high state of stress for all of March. All right, so the hand joint will start here. So this will be like the wrist that I'm drawing now. And then weird long tentacle finger, because sure, why not? And I know that's like out of proportion with the other one, but just exploring shapes for now. It might just be the Skeksis reference, but now I really do want like a weird big hump on their back. I don't know if I'll keep that. I don't know if that's actually in the description. I know March 3 years ago. I know this has been the roughest decade. 2020 has been the roughest decade that I've experienced in a while. Okay, so I'm already trying to do like a normal body shape with like a rib cage and like a spine, and then it would go into a hip area. But instead of all that, we're supposed to do a living accordion. So that's what the prompt says. So that's what we're going to do. So we're still going to have some kind of basis in reality, somewhat. So I'll still do ribs, but like instead of abs, there's going to be like this weird, I guess it'll be ribs, and like the lungs would probably be like all up in this area. And like, I would imagine that the accordion feature of their bodies is that way to help them breathe in that wheezy fashion that apparently they do. I don't know if like I try to play around with body shape too. I try not to go like super skeletal. I really dislike the dinosaur interpretations where they make them like, where they make them super skeletal, like they had no body fat. Like they had body fat. You couldn't be that big of a creature and have like zero body fat. I mean, look at crocs. I know they're reptiles and not like the same as a lot of the dinosaurs, but you know, they got loads of body fat on them. And they're still super beasts. Like, they're pretty cool. Again, don't want one inside my RV, but don't want to come home and find one of those inside. I can't have cute things like puppies find their way inside, you know? Like, why is it always got to be little creatures you don't want? Why can't it be butterflies, you know? Like, oh no, a butterfly. All right, go on, friend. Go outside now. Intercostal muscles, like, whoa. Oh, these legs are also going to be super weird. I don't love this. Like, just as I'm drawing this right now, I'm like, oh no, it looks so, like, I should probably be doing this in profile. That's probably what I'll draw, like the final. It's just so lumpy, and like the oddness of the what is it called? Not profile, but the outside shapes need to like form a cohesive thing, and they're really not. So I'm gonna kind of do like a bird leg thing, and then I don't like this. My inner biologist is crying. What is happening? I don't like this. Then the long, weird prehensile toe, and then more clawed clawed toes, and then there's the foot, but then also the calf is just on the ground, and then I don't love this creature design. But, you know, as a creature designer, it's your job to like make it look cool. Just because it's a weird thing, you could still make it look cool. You can make an apple look cool. You can make an Istork. Iscourt. There you go. Iscourt. Look cool. Oh, I don't love this though. Oh, the calf is upside down on the ground. And then I want them to not be like this, but that's not how the description is. Flying puppies, that would be the best thing to find in my RV, as long as they only use the bathroom in the toilet. Come home to flying puppies, though, would be pretty great. Okay, I don't think there was any mention of any tail. Let's see. I don't love this like shape of like back out, back again, like that. Biologically, that doesn't really work for balance. Okay, so now that we just have something, right, to play with here, I'm going to create a new layer, as I do. Create a new layer. And usually I toss all these other layers. It's like just in case I want the full size rendered image again. I toss it in a folder, hide the folder, collapse it. Usually that saves RAM too. All right, that said, we'll take this one and shrink it down. Getting the fall itchies. Check on time. So we got about 30 minutes left to try to make something of this creature. This is a cool challenge, actually. I'm kind of glad that I did this on today's stream. Like I said, I've been debating, trying to figure out what to do with the draw with me's, and the whole idea of like coming up with like really intricate talking points and coming up with ideas to chat about that specific topic for an hour. It just got really draining. And then I would have to make the art and everything that goes with it in order to talk about it. And it just got really draining. So that's supposed to be his little eyes. I don't know how I can depict a triangular form that's so triangular that there's no room for eyes. Like, it seems like there's always room for eyes on creatures. So, oh, is that on the same layer? That was supposed to be another layer. Let's do this. Copy, paste. There we go. Now I can move it around and it doesn't disturb the other one. In fact, yes, apply that. I'm going to actually lock that layer so I don't accidentally draw on the run layer, because who hasn't done that before? Okay. So the head is confusing me because, like, even like, I mean, they have those lizards, those legless lizards with teeny tiny little, like, almost just divots for eyes. They don't even have like regular eyes. And I don't know. I'm like, my inner biologist is like, why is there no room for eyes on his head? But then he's got a mouth too, like a vulture head, they said. So he's like a triangular vulture head. Okay. All right. It just looks like a cylinder. It's okay. It's okay. So we're just gonna do everything in profile, so we can get some nice shapes, and then we can play with the proportions. how everything kind of relates to one another. I kind of felt like he was too skinny in the other one, like it was like just the skin and bones version. Let's try to beef him up a little bit. So the part where I'm struggling with now is it's a cylinder shape for the shoulders, flat, but I'm trying to depict it in 3D space, but in profile. So that's why I'm like, don't know how that works. I'm in my brain. It's like the meme with all the Pythagorean theorem going on in question marks. That's what's happening in my mind right now. All right, we're not going to worry about such details at the moment. We're just trying to get a base shape going. I think he's going to look a lot like a Skeksis. I think that's just what's going to happen. You can't say like vulture head and like a wheeze bag body and not think Skeksis a little bit. All right. So normally this is a little faster of a process. The paint tool that I'm using right now usually goes a lot better, but I'm switching to the pencil tool again. Just to speed things up. All right. Because I'm drawing in profile, I'm only going to draw like one leg and one arm, but he's got two. All right. So let's try to get a little bit more pleasing of a shape for this body shape. Still trying to not make him like super lean. I didn't get the impression from reading the book that they're like lean creatures. Like I got kind of like this is proving to be difficult. Definitely a challenge, this one. Oh, right. The legs have to go backwards. I forgot about that. That's why that's not going to work. So maybe I keep trying to have like a hunchback like that, but maybe I need to have the opposite. Maybe more like a kind of shape like this, where it's like a little more snaky. Oh, it looks so silly. So silly. And then the foot. That's supposed to be a knee. Walking on the knees. That's not good. It's not good for you, bud. All right. Maybe even more like, I do like that shape better. Like a bean, kidney bean kind of shape a little bit. Not super good biology-wise, but it is organic. I'm going to move this one, this little reference to, come on, there we go, to this side, so I have a little bit more room on this other side. So like I'm already getting into like the hierarchy of shapes with this bigger version. I think I might make the head a little smaller to kind of emphasize this strange body. And then if you're making the head smaller, you need to make the neck smaller. I'm also recording this because I've been doing recordings of all my Animorphs creations this week. So I think that's why my computer's crying. Yeah, that's not too shabby. Then the big body with the weird accordion. What do accordions even look like? I'm live streaming, so it's not. I don't like that at all on a biology standpoint. I'm trying to draw an accordion, and I know they have, like, when you're viewing them from the profile, they look like stairs. Ugh. Also, I can't figure out a good eraser to use in Clip Studio. I've got the vector now. Don't love it. I'm going to switch to the rough. See if that's better. I keep noticing, and I don't know if it's a Clip Studio thing or it's a my computer thing, but I kept noticing recently when I would stop erasing and lift up the stylus from the tablet, the eraser would just shoot across part of the canvas, not all the way across all the time, but definitely didn't. It just kept erasing where I didn't want it to. So again, my computer's at the age where I don't know if all these problems are due to its age and I'm asking it to do too much, or if it is actually related to the app itself. I don't recall the description mentioning how the legs attach to the body, so that's also interesting. It did say the legs were not long, but like 2.5 feet tall, so I think I gotta draw that a little. What if you had like skinnier legs? Like, what if the body was the biggest part? Like the way, I'm trying to think of a good example. Oh, I got one. Like goats when they're really fat and they got those skinny little legs. So cute. I might do that. I might kind of thin up the legs a little bit. Well, actually, might check the midsection, the weird accordion thing. What are the legs like? Shoulders, vultures, flat across for the shoulders. If that's the case, then I guess maybe they wouldn't have a hump at all, right? Like it would be, come on, eraser tool, please. Oh, it's mad that I didn't tell it to accept that transformation. Okay, so we're gonna I kind of like the hump, but gotta also go based on the description. Don't know how much of this we're gonna get done in this session, but I do have to get it done today, and I do have to. What's going on? Why are you not responding? Might have to stop the recording. I think it's angry. Yeah, I gotta stop the recording because it's like about an hour now, and I'm also trying to stream, so it's just getting so mad. All right, so while that's happening, I won't record the whole thing, I guess, but let's see if that makes it a little bit. Okay, why are you still being like this? This is the only reason why I didn't want to do the draw with me with my computer, because my computer does have issues from time to time, especially when I'm trying to stream. I've been trying to stream since like 2009. And I've even had like the state at the time, the state-of-the-art computer, and it did not help. I still, for whatever reason, couldn't stream. All right, so we're doing the flat shoulders, which is weird, but sure. 2 thick legs. Okay, so unfortunately I can't play around with the leg proportions. They have to be this way. You just have to listen to the prompt and then figure out how to like incorporate the prompt while creating the coolest type of thing that you can. I don't know how to indicate that the toe is prehensile other than making it also a tentacle just to match the hands. Let's see. So weird. They're right. It doesn't look human. Now the head looks too small for the... Maybe that's why the eyes can't fit, because the head is too small. Maybe that's our explanation there. Let's see if I can use the paint tool if that'll behave a little bit better now. It is nice for blocking things in. I'm gonna raise this creature up off the very floor of my canvas here. I hope everyone else's week is maybe a little less stressful than mine. I don't know if that's possible this year, but you know, I really do hope that for everyone. Any art related challenges that you're doing, you can always, if you're watching this later, you can always let me know in the comments. I invented this Animorphs challenge this year. I've always loved Animorphs for, you know, many decades now. And it feels so weird to say that, but it's true. And I thought all the different aliens are cool, but I found very few depictions of them anywhere, and also I haven't done any for like all these other aliens. Andalites and Hork-Bajir, sure, but did not, never have I ever drawn an Istork. I always say that, Is-Court. There we go. And that's part of the thing of only having ever said it in your mind, you can make little mistakes like that, and you're like, I know what that is. But as soon as you say it out loud, then you have to say it correctly. And I'm using air quotes when I say correctly. Implied air quotes I'm drawing. Yeah, and that's the cool thing about doing the challenges. Well, you're kind of, Chrissy, you're kind of doing your own thing with Inktober too. Like you're doing the flowers. That is kind of, because I think the base prompt for Inktober is like a bunch of different dissimilar words. I don't think it's really got a theme. I think it's just random words. The new word, I don't know if it's new exactly, but I saw it a lot on TikTok lately, is Arttober. And I was trying to think of a term that isn't copyrighted or anything. And also like incorporated the fact that it could be any medium, and Arttober perfectly encapsulates that. So that's pretty cool. I like that tag going around right now. Yeah, I already think you're doing your own thing. I think that's cool. I really like your plants that you've been doing this so far this year. Are you turning them all into ornaments, or are they going to be in the little mini frames? Okay, I like this profile view that I'm doing. I feel like it's getting the more details and more shapes, I think I think I'm not making them as hunched over as I really want. I really want that head jutting out the most. Like I really want the head like to be way out here. Come on, bud. There we go. Whoop, too far. It's off the canvas. There we go. I gotta fix all this to kind of match. Let's see how rotate. A little rotation here. Kind of get that. That would also allow for that flat shoulder thing to kind of make more sense, maybe. If I rotated the body a lot further. Oh man, it's going so slow. One day, we'll get it. We will get it, everyone. It'll be great. Is that it? Is that where I want it? I can't tell when it's done moving or what it's thinking about moving. I don't know how slow it's appearing on the screen, but it's either that slow or slower on my screen too. So it's not like it's going super fast and it's streaming slowly. It's actually going that slow. All right, I like that better. I think that works. I think by flat shoulders, my interpretation is going to be like this. Like flat shoulders into the back. Like this is the back. And I guess that could be the hump, right? It's actually like a shoulder, I suppose. Kind of angle that out better. Make a weird windy neck. That's vaguely vulture-like. There we go. I like that a little better. Oh, yay, mini frame ornaments. I love it. All right, there we go. Accordion, 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 accordion. I'm gonna do like a little butt and then that going that way. And then the weird knee, the weird backwards knee that's flat against the ground. Oh, dislike so much. There we go. And then what I'm going to do after this, let's see, I've got almost, I could go like a smidge over time. I'm going to say like 15 minutes left to kind of, I kind of want to get the outline of this done at least. This is pretty much how it goes for me as far as like designing these creatures. I kind of don't always go with like my original wool one in the front, but it gets me in the right ballpark. It gets me like thinking about what I don't like about that design, and then I spend the next design fixing it. Yeah, if this thing started walking, like I guess it would look like it's going backwards, even though, because when it lifts up its leg, it would look like it's going backwards. So it would be kind of interesting to do an animation of this one too, but I don't have time for that today. I really need to get my comic page done. Guess who's been avoiding that? It's a little bit of avoidance and a lot of bit of distraction. And I feel like spiders and bees are legit distractions. I could be wrong. Could be a big baby about that, but I feel like that's legit. Thick pads for these toes that were described. So I'm going to add that in there. Thick pad, little foot pad there. Base foot pad. I don't know if I like the idea of the toe tentacle. And I'll take sentences I never thought I would say 400 or 500, Alex. Yeah. We'll work on that toe tentacle later. I really hope these gnats that are flying around are the last of them. I hope they're just like the residue from Sunday that managed to get in and hide from me for like 2 days. It's possible. It is possible. I also have a giant air conditioning window unit, and I'm not convinced that that's totally airtight and sealed up perfectly either. So the goal is to get my roof unit to work again. So then I can take the window unit out and kind of look more like a normal RV. Because I have a giant box sticking out of the one of the windows still this year. So I think we're going to try to, anyone who can help me look at the AC unit this fall. So they're hopefully still not, when I stop seeing bugs just because it's too dang cold out, that's when I'll go up there and open up that shroud and figure out what's going on with that whole system. Oh yeah, that's appropriately weird. This whole thing, very weird. Okay, we're gonna hide that little design because I don't think it's super helpful to us anymore. And yeah, this feels is court to me. Ah, yes, I like it. Go ahead and take that. And then new layer. Go ahead and lock that layer too. And then this is where I kind of do have like fun with the details and figuring out how the design works. We're just going to do like a thin beak-like structure. Said there's a mouth, but they almost never opened their mouth except to breathe. I guess maybe there's no nostrils. They're telepathic. My brain tried to combine too many words there. Kind of like wrong brush. That's the brush. I need the pencil brush. There's another software that I use that doesn't have any of the same keyboard shortcut settings for the pencil tool and such. And it takes me like 2 hours of using that app before I stop hitting the keyboard shortcut for pencil, which is not the same. I don't know how big to make these eye stalks. I don't want them as big as like an Andalite's eye stalk. Kind of slug-like. Though I feel like if they were slug-like, then it would have been described as such in the books. But maybe that was oversight. Let me read the face description again. Roughly triangular, with the point toward the top, which left no room for a pair of eyes to fit. Okay. Short stalks. Okay, so it did say short stalks. That's why I got that idea. It had mouths, but didn't use them to communicate. Given I do find that the little blue teeth are interesting, but because they almost never open their mouths, I'm not gonna draw the little blue teeth. So we're just gonna do like little giraffe ossicones. That's what those are called. The little horns on it that giraffe have are called ossicones. And that's what I'm going to make those look like, those little eye stalks. Random animal facts with Char. So a little pterodactyl looking, I guess, but also triangular vulture, I guess. Maybe the beak is shorter. I was kind of like I feel like they had like a long mouth though. It's so normal looking. You might want to play with that design some and make it a little more alien-y. God, I wonder how this creature functions. That is something I wonder too. So from what I can remember, I did not reread this book super recently, but from what I can remember of this alien species, they are actually a blend of two different alien species: the Isk and the Quartz. No, Isk and then the Torts. Okay, now I have to look at the name again. Isk and then the Orts. Okay, you're I don't know. Anyway, two different ones, and they are symbiotes. They are now symbiotes. They didn't used to be. I think it's the Yorks, because it was the Yerks and then they had the Yorks. And they were parasitic, and then they I'm gonna do a spine that leads into this accordion shape so it looks a little less sus. Yeah, so they were parasites, and then they became symbiotes with the Isk, and so they're actually two creatures in one. So that explains a little of their weirdness. I don't know how they feed. I guess it's through the mouth. I'm not sure. There's a bunch of different interesting ways that aliens and animorphs eat. It's not always so straightforward. Is that 1, 2, 3? Yeah, that's 3. Making sure it's got the right number of bends there. We'll do a little pad leading to a toe claw here. It'll kind of go like a little weird on the claw, like the way it attaches. Just to make it look a little more alien, not so earthy. I find that you don't need to do a lot to kind of help with that. It's like the little things that are just a little bit unsettling. But also you add a little bit of like the realistic touch to it, and it kind of grounds it in reality too. Like I did the quick for the nail. So this pink part of your finger, I don't know if you're aware, that's the quick. That's the same as when you like are trimming a dog's nails and you cut the quick. That's what that is on a human. But on a nail shape like this, it does look more like a dog's nail. But adding that little detail kind of makes it seem a little bit more real, which when dealing with this creature is interesting. Adjusting here. I have to move around a little bit. Okay, so we're just at 58 minutes of streaming. So I don't want to keep you too long. I appreciate everyone who's checking this out. But it is a draw with me, and it's only an hour. So we gotta see what we can do in the hour. So I've been like obsessed lately with like hip muscles, and like I can't remember the name, but there's a muscle that goes it's like the trapezius, but it's for your hip flexor, maybe. I used to know it, but it's like that hip joint thing that goes like up like that. It's hard to describe and also draw from in a profile view because it's on an alien. It's easier to draw on a human. So the weird backwards knee, the calf that is flat on the ground. Still don't love that, but that's how they are. Did I draw the little stalk eyes? Yeah. Oh, that might be up too high. That might be messing with the accordion portion of their body. Let's see. I'll work on that in a second. I'm going to get this foot drawn here. Let's just do like a oogly toe. Kind of wiggly. That doesn't, like a little boneless looking. We won't go straight up tentacle, we'll go slightly boneless. If you all are Psych fans, you may know that reference. I wasn't the biggest Psych fan, but I was enough to know that. Still trying to mirror the shape of the the hands in the hind feet here. Still trying to mirror that claw shape, the pad. Most animals tend to have very similar, slight differences, but tend to have very similar front digits to the back digits. There's not a lot, none that are coming to mind exactly that are totally different. Like, well, okay, easiest example there would be like a dolphin. That's totally different. But that's because that's their tail, technically, not their back legs. Their back legs are still there. They're just itty bitty, and they're all inside of that cylindrical body. I still have the bones. I think some whales and dolphins have lost the bones, but some still have those tiny, tiny leg bones. Vestigial leg bones. Maybe I'll just draw. I'll call these random animal facts with char streams. Hopefully you find it interesting and not too annoying. I had all those fact file cards growing up and have to share that information with someone. I feel like maybe this toe is a little too dominant. Like maybe this toe should be bigger and more interesting, and this one should be smaller. Let me reread that description just real quick. Don't want to go too far over time. Midsection, legs, backward, backward, forward. Knees, calves, feet, single long prehensile toe with two smaller claws. See, that's why. I felt like that was wrong. So easy solution there. We'll just make this small. Like an appendage extra instead of the main digit here. There we go. That's better. That definitely looks extra, like an extra toe and not the main foot. But I will draw the foot pad that's attached to, and then kind of like this toe thing. I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't love it, y'all. I might go back to my original single long prehensile. What is a prehensile toe? Like our fingers are technically prehensile, right? Like, is it just multiple jointed? Is that what they mean by that? Like, or do they mean like a prehensile tail but a toe? So many questions. We're gonna go with both. I'm gonna kind of go to do both. Like it looks like the toe could grab something, but it's also like actually got bones in it. Let's do that. Do like that knuckle up there, leading to that knuckle, going into a backwards calf. Do not like that. Ugh. But you know, if it is a backwards calf and they walk on them all the time, let's add some padding there, like that padding that are on camel elbows. They're like a giant rough patch of skin on their elbows because that's where they lay down all the time. I'm going to do that. We're going to extend it up to the knee. There we go. It's like okay. I'm kind of tired of this foot for now, so we're going to move on to this weird accordion stomach thing, and then we're gonna capable of grasping. Yes, I think you're right. I think I was trying to go to, I was like thinking of like the like squirrel monkey tail or something, and I was too busy thinking of that to like remember that like prehensile just means it can grasp things. Try to draw ribbies up here. I don't know if I'll keep them, but they're there. And the backbone. And then somehow make this make sense. Make it make sense. Shar, you must make this species make it make sense. I cannot. I've got to try. All right. So once I'm done with this one, like this profile sideways sketch thing, then I will come up with it, because I'm like figuring out all the anatomy now and like really digging into what it looks like and acceptable proportions for everything and all that. Then I'm going to draw a cool pose for it. Cool, again, using air quotes because it is an is-quote. And then do like an actual like drawing from there as far as like the final species depiction. And so this is what I'm doing for this month, is like this process. I'm trying to only take 2 hours, finish this this creature design in 2 hours, and then get something that's like a detailed sketch. And then the challenge I'm going to do after this is what I'm calling Render December, which I've never said out loud, and I just did it. I still like it. And I'm going to take all of these sketches, and I'm going to kind of like really detail them up and really render them out and everything. And I'm actually going to do this in November and December. So, because I may need more than 1 day for each one of these. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. Look at that. Look at that. It looks pretty good for a weird accordion body thing in the middle. Yeah, I like that a lot. Cool. I did it. I made it make sense. Some kind of sense. I'm going to make the ribs go down a little bit more here into the sternum that starts before the weird accordion thing. Kind of like loose skin kind of leading into it. And then like you can see the spine a little bit between, like, I mean, it's not exposed, but like you can see that it's like the spine that goes into there. And then it tucks into this buttock region, and then you got your thigh, backwards thigh, into the knee, and calf, which is there, and then the foot, which is back. I don't love this. I don't love it. I don't love it. I guess technically this should be the calf, huh? Yeah. Nope, but the knee's there, but it would. My brain is like, don't know. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Let's look at this whole thing. It's a whole thing, everyone. It is a whole thing. Yeah, I'll clean up just the outside areas here a little bit. Not going to fill it all in, but just kind of get rid of all these extra shapes here. There we go. We did it, everyone. We drew an Iscourt. It's a thing that exists now on paper, or metaphysical paper, I guess. Digital paper. That makes more sense. Kind of center it there. All right, and we're done. I appreciate everyone who's stayed and watched this marvelous creation come about. If you do want to draw along in the future, like if you see this later, link to your drawing. I'd like to see what your Iscourt look like. And a few things. I do have a Discord for Colourisma. We're trying to get more people in there. So far, the community that's in there is super great. It's super close-knit, and everybody's super nice. And I want to keep that energy, same energy, everyone. And that is in the link below. And as well, if you like Colourisma and you want to help support the community, I have Patreon at patreon.com/Colourisma. And there's a Facebook group as well if you want to join that. All the links and everything are in the description below. So I appreciate y'all being here, drawing the little Iscourt creature with me or whatever you're working on today, and have a good one. Bye.